Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that I would talk about something that I don't think I've spoken about on this channel, is films. I did used to have another YouTube channel where I talked about films, but I don't really use that anymore. So I thought that I would do my best films of 2024 according to me, a pretentious cinephile. And yeah, hopefully these will be some recommendations for people who don't necessarily know about all kinds of like smaller films or films throughout like world cinema or directors from other countries, foreign films, etc. So if you're looking for all of those recs, stay tuned. Before we get into it, subscribe if you enjoyed. I would love to have you, and also let me know what are your favorite movies of 2024. It could be anything. And disclaimer, even though I'm saying that I'm like a cinephile, pretentious or whatever, I watch all kinds of things. So I've seen Wicked, I've seen well, I don't watch everything, but I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I watch stuff. So yeah, let me know what you enjoy. Let me just give you 5 recommendations for other really great movies. So I have 15 movies, but I don't want to talk about 15. So we have Monkey Man, directed by Dev Patel, a really great film, highly recommend. A Korean film, Love in the Big City, which might be difficult for some people to get a hold of, but if you know how to find things online, you'll find it. And I love that movie. It was so fun and sweet. All of Us Strangers, for me it was 2024 because that's when I saw it, and I think for most people, directed by Andrew Haig, loved it so much. And then we have Cloud, which I just recently watched, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who has become one of my favorite Japanese directors. I've watched a lot of Kurosawa over the past year, and yeah, I just love his films. That one I think is still quite new, so if you don't have a chance to see it, you'll probably have to wait some time, or again, try to find it online. The next one is a Korean film, Exuma. This also stars Kim Go-eun, I hope I said that right, stars in 2 of these movies, Love in the Big City and Exuma. Great film, amazing. And it also stars Choi Min-sik, who is like incredible. Okay, so 10 best films starting from number 10. So these are the best films. The ratings go from 4 stars to, I actually have not rated a film 5 stars, which is quite surprising. I feel like it was a weird year, but there are a lot of movies that I did end up loving. So number 10 is Longlegs. I love this movie. I had such a great experience watching it in the cinema. It's a horror movie directed by Osgood Perkins, and it stars Nicolas Cage, Micah Monroe. It is incredible. It's scary, and I just loved the elements of it that had like a sort of detective element. It kind of has slight Fincher 7 vibes. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It was an influence in how Micah did her performance, which you can kind of see. I just really loved it. Number 9, this is Evil Does Not Exist, directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, another one of my favorite Japanese directors. I've been getting really into Japanese cinema a lot this year, so there might be a couple here, but I absolutely love the film. Hamaguchi has directed one of my all-time favorite films, which is Drive My Car, which was nominated and won the Oscar for Best International Film. So if you haven't seen either of those movies, definitely check those out. And then another one, this recently has come out on streaming, especially if you're in India. It's been out in some theaters, but this is All We Imagine as Light, directed by Payal Kapadia, and this is her fiction feature debut. This won the grand prize at Cannes, and it is stunning, beautiful, poetic, dreamy, just stunning work, really. And I loved it so much. I watched this, I think, this past weekend, and it's amazing. The next one, number 7, is Babygirl, directed by Lena Raine. I think that's how you say her name, starring Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson. I got to watch this in the cinema, and it's probably one of my favorite cinema experiences. It was incredible, and I thought Nicole was incredible. I loved the style, the score is amazing, just the whole like energy, and I liked what Helena was conveying, her messages and themes with the story. Yeah, I love when women make films because most of the time they're great. Number 6, this is Sing Sing, and the stars Colman, Domingo. If I forget some of the directors' names, I'll just like try to put them in. But this one is a highly underrated film. It is incredible, and it made me like, it kind of opened my mind to things that I never really thought about before. And yeah, it sort of is a look at the prison system, but through a sort of reform program that has to do with the arts and theatre, and it's based on a real program, and there are people who are incarcerated previously who star in the film, which is amazing. Clarence Macklin also is incredible, and yeah, I just hope it gets its recognition during awards season. Number 5 is Maria, starring Angelina Jolie, Queen, and one of my favorite directors, Pablo Larraín, who directed Spencer, Jackie, which is one of my all-time favorites, and Emma. I mean, he's directed a lot of movies. So yeah, I loved Maria. There's a lot of kind of critic and also audience reactions that have been saying that it's not as good as his previous biopic films, but I don't think that's true. I think I'm just like a big fan of his work and the way that he depicts women in these films, and I just think that Maria is incredible. I gave it a 4.5. So a lot of these movies, I don't think I've talked about the ratings, but from number 8, All We Imagine Is Light, upwards we are at 4.5, and the other films were at 4 stars. So all these films are 4.5, and I thought it was incredible. For me, Angelina Jolie's performance was one of the best of the year, and I'm gonna be very sad if she doesn't get an Oscar nomination, but it's okay, she has an Oscar, she'll live. And number 4 is Dune Part 2. This is a bit of a tricky one because I didn't get to see it in the cinema, and my viewing experience wasn't really the best in terms of how I watched it, so I think I have to rewatch it. But I did love the film. I do think that it is better than the first one, and I loved that one as well. I am a huge Denis Villeneuve fan. I've seen probably almost every film that he's made. I've seen some of his shorts. Incendie, which is one of his like previous work in French. He's a Quebecois filmmaker, French Quebecois filmmaker, and Incendie is one of the most incredible films of the last decade. I forgot when it was made, but of recent years. Arrival's incredible. Like, everything that he does is basically a masterwork. Blade Runner 2049 is an incredible film. I could go on about Denis, but I won't. Yeah, and I loved Dune, but I do need to rewatch it properly. Number 3 is The Substance, directed by Coralie Fargeat. I was already a fan of her work with her feature debut, Revenge, which for many people I think is available on Netflix. I know for me it's on Netflix, so check that out as well. The Substance, I'm sure a lot of people at this point have heard of this movie or seen this movie. Demi Moore has just recently won a Golden Globe for her performance, and I'm really hoping that she gets nominated. It's incredible that we have a out and out horror movie, body horror, that is getting respected in the industry, because like horror is incredible and should be respected. Yeah, loved it. Margaret Qualley, incredible. Loved every aspect of it. Yeah, it's incredible. It's really fun, and it's probably the movie that I would watch the most out of all of these movies because it's so enjoyable. Number 2 is Perfect Days. I'm not sure exactly if this is quantifies as 2024, but I did watch it in early 2024, so that counts for me. Perfect Days, directed by Wenders. Just such a peaceful, beautiful, subtle, melodic, cozy, warm film, and it just makes you feel so good. I love it so much. It's incredible. I need to watch more of Wenders. I actually haven't seen much of his work, which is insane because he's such a well-regarded director. So even though I say I'm a pretentious cinephile, there's so many directors and films that I still need to watch. My number one film of 2024 is The Beast, directed by Bertrand Bonello. I hope I said that correctly. He's a French filmmaker, and I haven't seen much of his work. I think I've seen a few things, but this is his masterpiece. This is his masterwork. It is mind-bending, time-traveling, sci-fi, experimental piece, and there's like these two main characters, and at the heart is Seydoux, who is one of my all-time favorite actresses. I think she is extraordinary. If you don't know Seydoux, I mean, you probably do if you've seen any of the Bond movies, but for me, she is just like an icon, and she's in Dune Part 2. She's just incredible, and this is my number one best performance of the year. It's probably one of her most incredible performances. She's like extraordinary. I can't even like explain how good she is in this movie. George Mackay is also in this film. He's a great actor, and yeah, it's so like unique, and it's kind of something I've never really seen before. It's something that you should go in not really knowing much about it. Maybe just look at like one line of like, it has 3 different time periods, and these 2 people, a man and a woman, meet in the different time periods, and yeah, that's all I will say about it. It's quite a difficult film to talk about or explain because it's so like a melange of like so much, but it's incredible. And yeah, I hope that you will see some of these films, try to check out some of these films. If you happen to have local film festivals, try to see these films as well. And yeah, let me know your favorites. Give this a like, subscribe, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye.